Hi, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to day 2 of our spooky user testing projects. So, in this project, you are going to make a spooky floating ghost. Now, remember, we are using the development version because this is user testing. So, we want you to user test our development version, which you can find by going to About, Versions, then you'll find this page, and you're just clicking on Open Development Version. Now, I have already set up my scene because yesterday's project showed you how to create a gradient sky and a map floor. And then I've just added a house there just to sort of make the scene a little bit more interesting. And now I'm going to add my character to turn into a ghost and then animate and float it. So I'm going to go to the plus sign. And I'm going to find a character. I think I'm going to go for this character here. And I'm going to place it about here. Now, I'm going to make it a little bit larger, I think, just a little bit, and then I'm going to rotate it as well. Okay, so I've got my character there, and it's character 1. Now, I want it to be floating a little bit, so I'm going to change the Y position to 2, and then you should see it floating a little bit. I am now going to add some materials, so I'm going to go to materials. And you've got this top one, which is color character. So this makes it one whole color, which is going to be good for my ghost effect. And I think I'm going to go for a light gray. So if I press play now, you can see it is a light gray color. So it's already looking very ghost-like, but actually I can make it a little bit opaque as well, a little bit see-through. So if I go back to materials, I can go to set alpha of character, and I think I'm going to have it at about 0.3, like so, and then press play. So now it's looking quite ghost-like. The next thing I want to do is just add a little animation. So I'm going to go to animate, and I'm going to switch animation. Now there's a couple of ghosty options that you can have. The idle is a pretty good one, so that is something you could stick with, or the sitting one is quite good. So if you look at the sitting, that one's quite an interesting animation as well. But I think I'm going to go with idle, but you can play around and you can choose your own animation. But now I want to make it look like it's floating. So it is floating, but I want to have it sort of bobbing up and down. So I'm going to add in an animation. So I'm going to go to animate and I want to glide. So I'm going to drag this one underneath. Now, if you look at this one, it's saying glide to, and then it's got X, Y, and Z. Now, we know that our character is in this position already. So actually, to help us out with our positioning, I'm just going to copy those exactly as they are. So 5.6 minus 5.6, 2, and 5.8. So that will just glide to exactly the same position. So it's not going to make any difference at the moment if I see this on the screen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the Y position to 2.5. And this is now going to glide to position Y position 2.5. But I've got more options here. So I've got return. Now that's going to help me with the bobbing effect. So I'm going to choose that. But also I've got loop. So this will loop the whole thing over and over again. So it always looks like it's bobbing up and down. And then if I wasn't happy with the speed, I actually think 1 is quite a good speed, but if I wanted to make it a slower animation, I could do it like that. And if I wanted a faster animation, I could change it to 0.5 and it would go faster. But I actually think 1 second is a pretty good effect. Okay, have a go at your own ghostly, spooky figure in your Flock XR scene. Enjoy.